Hey, so I was looking at this news article of this woman who claims to be married to the ghost of Michael Jackson. And I'm not making fun of her because because of her claims, because like, I can't talk. I claim to sit above Earth's atmosphere in my t-shirt and knickers, constantly having to pull my knickers up, being able to tap into the mind of everyone on Earth if I wanted to, while talking to Joan of Arc. But it's like, I know I'm not actually talking to the spirit of Joan of Arc. I know that I'm tapping into her, probably when she's asleep, back in her day, and we meet through a time portal. Like, I know she's not dead and standing there in my room. I'm connecting with her while she's asleep or daydreaming or, picking flowers or something in a world of her own. But this woman, she claims to be a psychic medium. And she says that he uses her body for dancing and singing. And every time she tries to get intimate with him, he makes her have a cookie. She must want a lot of sex. But the thing is, the reason why I'm doing this video is because she claims to be possessed by him, that he lives inside her and that he uses her body to dance and sing. But when she dances and sings like him, she doesn't. Like, at all. Like, he has a southern accent. And she said she woke up with him moving her fingers and telling her not to be afraid. This is how he moves, and she's got this video of her dancing like him and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, you know what? If it makes her happy, if that's what floats her boat, that's fine. The issue I have is that she's a psychic medium, and she's telling people that she talks to him in her mind clairvoyantly. Those are her exact words. I talk to him using my mind clairvoyantly. And that's not true. That's not possible. Clairvoyance, for a start, means clear sight or clear vision. Clairvoyance is what, in the psychic world or the paranormal world, when you have your psychic visions, that's clairvoyance. It's when you have a vision of something. The supernatural version of that is time jumping. The difference being is that clairvoyance is like, if you imagine jumping on a trampoline with a hole in the roof, and the medium will jump, put their head through the hole in the roof, tell people what they see, come back down. Jump, put their head in the hole in the roof, come back down, tell people what they see. Jump, put their head in the hole in the roof, come down, tell people what they see. Time jumping is when you just put a ladder up against the wall so that you climb up the ladder and sit on the top of the hole looking down on the bottom floor, and you bend down and you say to people, come and climb the ladder, come and join me. Right? So that's the difference. So she's telling people that she talks to him in her mind. So she's saying that she telepathically, clairvoyantly, like you don't talk to someone in your mind. Telepathy, the paranormal version is telepathy, right? That is when you place a thought in someone else's mind. So you'll think of someone and it'll send out like a radio wave, and they will pick up on that radio wave and then feel the need to call you or whatever. The supernatural version of that is bending matter. That's when you not only place the thought, but you can also change the thought. You can change their action. You can make them do something that I don't want to say goes against their. I mean, I suppose if you were an evil person, then yeah, you could, manipulate someone's mind and get them to do things and say things and act out in ways and carry out orders, and kind of like hypnosis. Bending matter is like mind hypnosis. You have complete control over how you make them act, how you make them think, that sort of thing. In the hands of somebody who wasn't balanced and ascended, bending matter would be a very dangerous tool to utilize on someone. And the laws of the universe, the laws of, supernatural karma and all that would dictate that if you use your gift to try to control and manipulate anyone against their will, then the karma comes back on you and the gift is removed. With great power comes great responsibility. So you would never ever use your bending matter to get someone to think or do against their will. Then you have telekinesis. The paranormal version of telekinesis is mind bullets. That's where you send out shockwaves, of energy, bursts of energy that come off like energetic bullets. That energy has to travel somewhere, so that it will usually like hit mirrors or move objects, or you can make the sounds of feet running down the hallway or running on the roof, or even calling out your own name is a common telekinetic activity. The supernatural version for that is biomagnetics. So where telekinesis pushes energy out, biomagnetics moves it around. You can set up like biomagnetic force fields and protect yourself in like an energy bubble, and you can push the energy out and expand it and manipulate it and pull it into you. Just like I always say, it's like bubble wrap. So I had to clear that up. Clearly, in my expert opinion, as an occult scientist, I would say what she is dealing with is a low-level possession, like a low-level psychological incubus. She's obviously a very lonely woman, needing a lot of attention and love, so she has created an incubus. So, and your incubus or succubi are like your low-level, they're like if your A-list possession was a demonic possession that required an exorcism, your lowest level one would be, first you have your lowest level would be shadow, but your next up from that would be your low level possession would be those who proclaim to have succubus and incubus encounters or incubus succubus relationships. They develop such close bonds to the object of desire that they create in their mind, that they manifest it into reality. And this is what she's done. I've studied a lot of incubus and succubi relationships. I was talking to someone for many years who claimed to be in a very loyal, loving relationship with a succubus. He was former military. And it took me a couple of years to get him to understand what was going on, because nobody likes to admit that they're lonely and have depression, or that they're feeling deprived of affection and that sort of thing. But he did eventually come to terms with it and, released that attachment to her, and then got in a really successful, happy relationship. And I think he now runs his own games company and has a couple of kids. Last time I spoke to him. So this is what I believe she's dealing with. She doesn't appear to be hurting anyone. My only issue is that she's making money from it, giving off false information, and that's what I have a problem with. So I wasn't laughing. Well, I mean, it's funny because when she records herself talking like this is Michael Jackson talking, she says he only prefers to say hee hee and hoo, oh, because that's what he's famous for. But it's like anyone in the world can do a Michael Jackson. So but then when she does talk like the one video where she puts he's got a southern accent. He's like, "Hi, I'm Michael Jackson." It's like, oh, please. If she hadn't have used um, incorrect information, I would have left it alone. But the trouble is, it's in a really popular newspaper, and there are a lot of people that believe her, and that's where it gets dangerous. She's making money with people believing something that isn't true. What she has created in her psychological mind, she's trying to manifest into reality, because, as I keep saying, the dead don't exist. When we die, we don't wander the earth, and if we do, it is usually because we have suffered some kind of tragic historical grief event where we have been trapped in between reality and existence, usually because of fear. And that's my job. That's what I do. I go around the world and I release places of historical grief where events like that took place, whether it's on a battlefield or someone's home, wherever something in history took place where great pain and suffering occurred that has left a negative imprint on Earth's atmosphere, because it does get trapped in Earth's atmosphere. I come along and release it. Because paranormal activity is the manifestation of an imbalanced mind. And at the lowest level, it's, the negative voices in your head, then it goes to like incubus, succubi, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes into like full blown possessions where like the voices in your head are completely taking over everything you say and do, even when it goes against your common sense or your intuition. And then that's when I would get the person to, I would examine their surroundings, who they're around, what they're doing, their diet, that sort of thing, before I came to a conclusion of the kind of possession we were dealing with and what I would do next to help the person and release what's trapped in their mind. So yeah, so I wanted to put that up. I'm going to put a link in the description box below just to give you a little example of the difference between the paranormal world and the supernatural one. I'm out to tell the truth about the paranormal world because it's causing a lot of damage and a lot of harm. I'm trying to get people to see the beauty of the supernatural. By using my own life as an example, even if it means I have to put up videos where I'm telling people I'm walking around like 60 BC with my knickers falling down, because that happened. Because for some reason I bought two big knickers and now they're falling down. So, but I'll put a link in the description box below, and I'm not making fun of her, because if she left the paranormal stuff out of it, I'd just think, oh, bless her, as long as she's happy. But it's the fact that she's making money, claiming to be a psychic medium, and releasing disinformation and information that's harmful, that I am stepping forward to correct her. So the fact that the fact that she eats a lot of cookies is also a classic indication of depression, because sugar lulls the brain into a false sense of security. Sugar relaxes the brain, and makes the brain docile and sleepy. So yeah, so you look at the article and make your own mind up, but I had to explain that because I thought it was important, because this is my job. You know, I go around fixing the paranormal world to replace it with a supernatural one, because even though the supernatural is harder to understand, once you do understand it, it gives you a far better, more balanced world to live in than the paranormal one, which is created and impacted solely by the imbalance of a psychological mind. Now, imbalance doesn't necessarily always have to mean depression or mental illness. It can mean grief, it can mean stress, it can mean anxiety, it can mean, illness. If you're sick all the time and you don't know how to get better, that can leave a negative imprint. So yeah, I had to explain it because that sort of inaccuracy drives me up the wall.